Welcome back to the shed. And today I'm doing a quick video in response to a conversation I've had with 3 different people over the last couple of weeks. And it's a conversation about these things. USB cables. Join me in a second. So what's the big issue with USB cables? Well, all of these, plus a few more on the bench, I took out of one drawer. Just went to a drawer in the house that we keep cables in and scooped these out as an example. All of these are USB cables. Most of them are micro USB. There was a time where USB cable came with a device. It had its own proprietary end on it. So a standard USB plug on one end and then whatever the manufacturer had put on the other. Then times changed and they went to mini USB. Just about everything had mini USB on it. But these days, we're in a time of change again because it went to micro USB and just about everything had standardized on micro USB. And now it's changed again. A lot of things are coming with Type-C connectors on. And I've got to say, these are better than the micro USB. They're more robust. But it's not the plug that's the problem. Yes, these little micro USBs, you're plugging them in all the time, they soon wear out. But the main issue is, it's not the plug that wears out, it's the socket in the device that becomes damaged. And I was having this conversation, as I say, with a number of people over the last couple of weeks, about what you could do about it. Well, there is a very simple solution. It's a solution I stumbled across about 2 years ago. And to be fair, I thought everyone knew about these things, but apparently not. And my solution was to buy, bear with me, this cable. And this is a good quality cable. It's micro USB at the moment. And I do say at the moment. And the reason it's micro USB at the moment, I'll hold it up. The reason it's micro USB at the minute, if you can see it, I'll put photographs up. The reason that's micro USB is because the end comes off. It's magnetic. So, mobile phone with a slot in to plug your USB in. You take the corresponding end and plug it in. And now you've got a magnetic bit on the end. So when you want to plug your device in, it just connects automatically. You never take this out, leave that in. Therefore, you're not damaging the socket. In and out, damaging the socket. That sounds ridiculous, but you get my point. And the beauty of this is, you're not stressing your cable, because if you put too much stress on it, it comes off. But you're not stressing the cable, so your cables last. And more importantly, you're not damaging the socket. Constantly plugging a device in and out, in and out, in and out, can wear out the socket. And then your device won't charge. So you have to either buy a new device or get it repaired. And there's not a lot of places repairing them. So this cable, which is over 2 years old and still going strong, is a nice braided cable I got from a company called NetDot on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description. And I'll drop a picture up while we chat. Now, they don't just do these skinny little ends, which are probably best for mobile phone because you don't want a big chunky end. They do others as well. Bear with me, I've got another one here. This one is a much shorter cable, and it has a round end on it. These I got to go into these torches. I bought a pair of torches for a tenner off Amazon a couple of years ago, and I leave them in the van. And they're rechargeable. But they had a micro USB socket in with a little rubber cover. And I lost the rubber cover off one of them, and you could see into the workings. So I bought a cable, a round one, and it just fits snugly in there, and then I've sealed it with some non-set-in mastic tape. And they stay clipped on the side of the van next to the USB sockets and charged up all the time. So they're very handy. But yeah, magnetic cables for USB. Brilliant. This cable from NetDot, this very cable I've had for over 2 years. And it's still going strong. I haven't bought any USB cables for a long time. Mainly because when I bought this, it came with 3 different ends. It came with Type-C, micro USB and Apple So most devices I had covered. I've only ever used the micro USB until recently when I changed my phone and needed to use the Type-C. That and my camera's Type-C as well. I did try put one in the camera, but keep having to take it out because I've got other things that plug into the camera through the Type-C as well that don't have magnetic connectors. So if you're struggling with lots of USB cables and you're damaging them and you're damaging your devices, give some thought to magnetic cables. There's a host of them on Amazon, not just the ones from NetDot. There's a host of different cables with different types of ends. Some round, some rectangular, some right angle, some with swivels on. Lots of different types of cables and different lengths and different colours. These ones, I shall plug one in. These ones have little blue LEDs in the end, or little white LEDs, depending on the ones you get. But a little LED in the end, which lets you know the power's on, but also makes them incredibly easy to find when they're just lying about on the floor. So there you have it. Short video about USB cables. I make some interesting videos, I'm sure I do. But might be useful, as I say. I found them very useful because I got sick of damaging the sockets and damaging the ends of cables. So if you're looking for a solution for charging mobile phones and small devices, these magnetic cables, I think, are a blinding idea. It's much easier, much better than your standard little plug, and you're not risking damaging the socket in your phone, because that's the bit that'll cost you money if you damage it. So there you go, little short video in answer to a question about USB cables and how to get around damaging the sockets in your devices. Simple, get a magnetic one. Right, I hope that was of some use. Ta-ra.